Hey folks, I'm Chris and I'm your Commander Mechanic. Just today, we received a spicy new potential commander with more reveals from the latest Dungeons & Dragons themed magic set, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms, Volo Guide to Monsters. Sorry to all my other friends, but Volo is my new best friend now. If you want to pre-order Volo here or any cards from the latest set, be sure to check out my affiliates linked below. Fans of D&D may know Volo from his appearances in video games or from the source book named after him, Volo's Guide to Monsters. Consider him a fantasy equivalent to a wandering anthropologist and zoologist. And his card gives us something along those same lines. This 4-mana 3/2 human wizard makes copies of creatures, so naturally I'm in love already. Whenever we cast a creature spell that doesn't share a type with a creature we control or creature in our graveyard, we get to make a copy, which enters as a token. Some interesting hoops to jump through. We want unique creature types, abusable enter the battlefield effects, ways to maybe sacrifice creatures in play or exile cards from our own graveyards. Lots of cool restrictions to help push potential. Important to note, since these token copies of creatures are created on the stack, they do not get doubled by token doublers. Doubling Season, Parallel Lives, and Primal Vigor are all non-combos here. So what do we want in a deck like this? Well, naturally we'll be creature heavy, but we may not want to include some of the usual nuts and bolts creatures like Mana Elves. Llanowar Elves, Elvish Mystic, and Fyndhorn Elves are all, well, elves. Sure, we could include them, but I want to go fully unique. Only one of each creature type in the whole deck. Let's include one elf, and no humans or wizards since they overlap with Volo. See where I'm going? Our mana dorks can be birds like Birds of Paradise, or plants like Sylvan Caryatid, or dryads like Sanctum Weaver. The fewer creature types on our creatures, the more likely it'll be that we can double them up with Volo out. We'll also want to avoid legendary creatures too, since doubling up on them may get us their enter the battlefield abilities, but we won't get a second copy. We'll have to sacrifice it to the legendary rule. It'll take a strong enter the battlefield effect on a legendary creature to really want to include them. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, an Elder Giant, may be a good include since we can double up on that enters the battlefield effect and cast him multiple times. Karuga the Macro Sage may be another potential here too, getting double the draw effect even if we have to sacrifice a copy. I don't know if I'd build with Karuga as a companion, but I think this Dinosaur Hippo fits in the 99. We'll want lots of value enter the battlefield effects in the deck. Solemn Simulacrum, a Golem, Craterhoof Behemoth, a Beast, and Muldrifter, an Elemental are all solid includes with great abilities. Naturally, I can't forget the clones. But since many of them share a creature type, we'll want to be a little bit more selective. I'd include Progenitor Mimic, a Shapeshifter, and Spark Double, an Illusion, as ways we can potentially get 3 copies of Volo in play for just one spell. This means that naturally we'll want a Panharmonicon in the deck to get even greater value out of our enter the battlefield effects that we're already doubling up on. Value on top of value. Regardless of what we're casting or copying, these creatures enter the battlefield one at a time. So one of them will be in the battlefield before the other. That means a card like Guardian Project will trigger once, but not a second time. Same with the Great Henge, triggering on the original entering the battlefield, but not the token. Good options, but not maximum synergy. Maximum synergy would come from Path to Discovery, triggering on each creature entering the battlefield. This gets us some lands in hand and pump via Explore and can potentially prune non-desirable spells from our library. Garruk's Uprising and Elemental Bond would be major draw engines here, as anything with more than 3 or 4 power draws us 2 cards at a time. We can also include ways to stretch our new token copies even further. A Second Harvest gets us all of these token copies again. And ways to populate, like with a Full Flowering, can net us more of these copies that we'd be making. I'd include Double Major as well, just to add more of this effect. Now, there are other ways to build the deck, not going as singleton as I have with creature types. This would mean you'd want abilities that sacrifice creatures in play or exile cards from your graveyard on demand in order to double up on value reliably. This is where cards like Ashnod's Altar, Phyrexian Altar, and Altar of Dementia come in handy, letting you clear the board of anything with redundant creature types. But then the question becomes, how do we get it out of the graveyard since Volo looks there too? Well, we could use a Scavenging Ooze to pay green mana and exile those creatures from our yard, or we can use artifacts like Scrabbling Claws or Relic of Progenitus to sift them out, ensuring we have Volo copy criteria met. Check out the deck list that I've made in the description below. I'm really excited to get Volo brewed up. I love deck building restrictions and I love making copies, so naturally I jumped at this opportunity. Let me know what you think about Volo in the comments below, and as always folks, good luck and have fun.